Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD,
Erin. Hi, Kat.
So, we're still ill, by the way.
Kat's joined in now as well.
Just in case we just start coughing mid anything. I try and edit it out. JD, talk.
Oh my god, I actually think I might be the healthiest one currently, which is a
Physically,
concern.
maybe.
Yeah, mentally we're screwed.
Yeah, so BTS.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna watch.
What are we doing?
We don't know.
What did we decide on?
We decided not to spin. Not that we decided not to spin the wheel. It's that I put my foot down and said I want to watch this. So we're gonna watch.
And we've got Patreon requests as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think it was put foot down. It was demanded pre-tantrum to.
I don't remember anybody questioning it though, or saying they didn't want to watch it. So
It's really hard when you're being threatened.
Have a way to kill your dreams.
Also, it's like it's no bad option, is it? When you say I want to watch this and it's BTS, it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, so it's their speech and their performance at the UN, which I said I want to watch it. I've seen it. I watched it live.
Yeah, me
But
too.
the speech at the UN, obviously live, there was a woman like dubbing over it.
Mm.
I don't want to hear her. I want to hear them.
Yeah.
I can read. Subtitles are fine. Why are you laughing at me,
Dumbing over it.
Erin? See, it's not me. It's her. She's the one that takes things. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so I watched it live whilst walking down the street, just grinning to myself, watching it.
Is it emotional? Because the last one I found super emotional.
No, it's
maybe it won't be-
hopeful and nice.
maybe it won't
but
be
you
'cause
might find it emotional because you're more emotionally free than we are.
Maybe because I'll be reading, I won't have the time to feel
did
emotion.
feel emotional watching it, but not from what was being said, because again, I couldn't hear their voices. I could only hear this woman. I was... I hate saying it. This is so not me. But I was emotional, like, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've really done a number on you, haven't they?
I know. Help me.
Yeah. No, it's emotional. I think for a lot of ARMY, we're feeling the same thing. If they do, they're like, oh, we're so proud. Fulfilling their roles as I was about to say emotional ambassadors.
For me, they are.
Yeah, international ambassadors of Korea, cultural ambassadors. Yeah. So it might be. You never know. We just watch it and find out how you feel about it.
All right, pass me a tissue just in case.
Oh, jeez. I've had my emotions locked down for like 20 years.
Maybe it's
Just open the
therapy.
floodgates. You're like, who is it? Who's the guy for Die Hard? The
Bruce Willis in
Friends.
Friends. Yeah.
Once you open those gates, it's hard to close them.
Oh,
Then,
yeah.
now if there's strangers walking on the street, Joey, they're hugging people. They're like, "What's wrong with Jenny?"
Oh, yeah, I hugged Erin last week.
Yeah,
But I did let her know it was the only one she was going to get, so...
that's fair.
She's like, I have boundaries.
That's my usual reaction when someone comes to me with open arms. I'm like, what? Stay back! What do you want from me?
You listen to too much true crime.
So...
Are you doing the like, comment, subscribe? Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. We've got our social media links on the bottom, all around, wherever. Come chat to us on one of those social media thingies.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Because I can type whilst coughing. I can't talk whilst coughing. Yeah. It's very quiet. Not allowed loads of people in there. I bet I'm so nervous.
존경하는 압둘라 샤히드 제76차 유엔 총회의장님, 안토니오 구테레시 유엔 사무총장님, 문재인 대통령님, 그리고 각국 정상 여러분, 이 자리에 서게 되어 진심으로 영광입니다. 대한민국 대통령 특사 방탄소년단입니다. 저희는 오늘 미래 세대의 이야기를 전하기 위해 이 자리에 왔습니다. 오기 전에 전 세계 10대, 20대 분들께 지난 2년은 어땠고 또 지금은 어떠한 세상을 살아가고 있는지 물어보려고요. 어떤 대답들이 있었는지 진 씨가 소개해 주시겠습니다.
네, 같이 한번 보실까요? 보는 것만으로도 기분 좋은 에너지가 느껴지지 않나요? 지난 2년은 사실 저도 당혹스럽고 막막한 기분이 들 때가 있었는데 그렇더라도 Let's live on. 지금은 잘 살아가자 라고 외치는 분들이 있었습니다.
네, 가장 다양한 것을 도전할 수 있는 시기에 멈춰만 있을 수는 없으니까요. 솔직히 처음에는 누구를 탓할 수도 없고 억울하셨을 겁니다. 나는 어제와 똑같은데 한순간에 평행세계에 온 것처럼 세상이 변해버렸으니까요.
So true.
입학식, 졸업식이 취소가 됐다는 소식도 들었습니다. 인생에서 꼭 기념해야 하고 기념하고픈 순간이셨을 텐데 많이 안타깝고 아쉬우셨을 것 같습니다. 저희들 같은 경우에도 오랫동안 열심히 준비한 콘서트 투어가 취소가 되면서 정말 많이 속상도 하고 저희가 완성하고 싶었던 순간을 한동안 계속 그리워했던 것 같습니다. 네, 맞습니다. 코로나로 잃어버린 것들에 대한 일종의 애도가 필요한 시간이었습니다. 네, 그동안 당연하다고 여겼던 순간순간의 소중함을 다시 한번 깨닫는 시간이었습니다.
방금 이제 슈가식에서 당연하게 읽었던 소중한 것들에 대해서 얘기해 주셨는데요. 저희의 질문에도 소중했던 순간이 담긴 사진들로 답변해 주신 분들이 많았습니다. 특히 이 자연과 함께한 사진들을 많이 보내주셨는데 2년 동안 자연을 느끼고 가꾸면서 시간을 더 특별하게 느끼시지 않았나 생각이 듭니다.
그렇네요. 근데 지구에서 우리에게 남은 시간이 얼마 안 남은 것 같은 불안감이 들어서인 걸까요? 방금 우리가 애도해야 했던 것들에 대해 이야기해봤는데 지구에 대한 애도는 정말 생각하고 싶지도 않네요. 기후변화가 중요한 문제라는 건 다들 공감하시지만 어떤 게 최선의 해결 방법이라고 이야기하는 건 정말 쉽지 않더라고요. 단정지어 말하기엔 어려운 주제인 것 같아요.
맞습니다. 사실 어려운 이야기입니다. 하지만 이 자리에 오기 위해 준비하는 동안 저희가 알게 됐던 것은 환경 문제에 진심으로 관심을 가지고 또 전공으로 택해서 공부하는 학생분들이 굉장히 많다는 사실이었습니다. 아무도 겪어보지 않은 미래이고 거기서는 우리들이 채워갈 시간이 더 많기 때문에 어떤 방식으로 살아가는 게 맞을지 스스로 답을 찾아보고 계신 것입니다.
그러니까 우리의 미래에 대해 너무 어둡게만 생각하지 않으셨으면 좋겠습니다. 앞으로의 세상을 위해 직접 고민하고 노력하고 길을 찾고 있는 분들도 계실 테니까요. 우리가 주인공인 이야기의 페이지가 한참 남았는데 벌써부터 엔딩이 정해진 것처럼 말하진 않으셨으면 좋겠습니다. 물론 나는 준비가 됐더라도 세상이 멈춰있는 기분이 들 때도 있고 길을 완전히 잃어버린 것 같은 느낌이 들 때도 있습니다. 저희도 그랬던 때가 있었고요.
그래서 지금 10대, 20대들을 코로나 로스트 제너레이션으로 부르기도 한다고 했습니다. 가장 다양한 기회와 시도가 필요한 시기에 길을 잃게 되었다는 의미에서요. 그런데 어른들 눈에 보이지 않는다고 해서 길을 잃었다고 말할 수 있을까요?
네, 사진을 함께 보시겠습니다. 온라인 공간에서 새로운 방식으로 친구들과 만남을 이어가고 새롭게 공부를 시작하고 또 앞으로의 감사합니다. 새롭게 공부를 시작하고 더 건강하게 살아가기 위해 노력하시는 분들이 많습니다. 이것은 길을 잃었다기보다 새롭게 용기 내고 도전 중인 모습으로 보여집니다.
네, 그런 의미에서 로스트 제너레이션이 아니라 웰컴 제너레이션이라는 이름이 더 잘 어울릴 것 같습니다. 변화에 겁먹기보단 웰컴이라고 말하면서 앞으로 걸어나가는 세대라는 의미에서요.
맞습니다. 가능성과 희망을 믿고 있으면 예상 밖의 상황에서도 길을 잃는 것이 아니라 새로운 길을 발견하게 될 것이라고 믿어 의심치 않습니다.
네, 우리가 택하는 방법들 중에 완벽하지 않은 것들도 분명하게 있겠지만 그렇다고 해서 할 수 있는 게 아무것도 없을 거라고 생각하진 않습니다. 중요한 건 변화 앞에서 어떤 선택을 하느냐 아닐까요? 저희가 유엔에 온다는 소식을 듣고 정말 많은 분들이 백신 접종을 했는지 궁금해하시더라고요. 이 자리를 빌려 말씀드리면 저희 7명 모두 백신을 맞았습니다.
백신 접종은 저희를 기다리는 팬들을 만나기 위해서 그리고 이 자리에 오기 위해 끊어야 하는 일종의 티켓 같은 거였다고 생각하고 있습니다. 오늘 전해드린 메시지처럼 우리는 우리가 지금 할 수 있는 것들을 하고 있는 중이니까요.
백신 접종도 그렇고 새로운 일상을 이어나가기 위한 노력들이 계속되고 있으니까 우리 곧 얼굴을 마주하고 만날 날이 멀지 않은 것 같습니다. 그때까지 모두 긍정적인 에너지로 다시 바뀌었으면 좋겠습니다.
세상이 멈추는 줄 알았는데 분명히 조금씩 앞으로 나아가고 있습니다. 모든 선택은 그 선택이 곧 변화의 시작이라고 믿고 있습니다. 엔딩이 아니라요. 새롭게 시작되는 세상에서 모두에게 서로에게 웰컴이라고 말해줄 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 이제 저희가 들려드릴 Permission to Dance는 모두에게 미리 전하고 싶은 저희의 웰컴 인사입니다.
Wasn't much like reaction going on because it was just hearing what they were saying.
Captivating.
Yeah.
I don't take that as a bad sign. Like if we watch something and we don't react
Yeah.
to it, I think it's a good
It's because
thing.
they don't want to miss anything.
And it's because they're captivating
Yeah.
and concentrating. That's a good thing.
So proud of them.
It was nice hearing their voices.
Yeah.
And I was actually really pleased that I know it's an awesome skill of his, obviously, that in 2018 when he spoke at the UN, he wrote his speech in English. But I was really pleased that obviously all of them got to speak and that it was in Korean.
I think it was important that they all got to speak.
And that it was in Korean, I think, as well.
There are 7.
I liked that it was in Korean.
Yeah.
I was very glad to hear that. And I thought they all did so well. I know that Jimin lost his place a little bit, but you could see a tiny flash in us, but he handled it so well.
Yeah.
So just like,
it would have been so easy to fall apart there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, JK, when he was reading, you could see he was just like flashing at the cards. So it's not just that they're reading it, like they've learned it and where they're putting the emphasis in. And
yeah, I mean, something you guys probably haven't seen a lot of, so you may not be as familiar with, aside from doing their performing and singing, dancing and everything, they are actually really, really good public speakers, because whenever they have like a comeback with a new album or anything, Hybe and Big Hit, they have like a huge press conference where the press go and get to ask some pre-approved questions and things like that. So they're actually really good at public speaking, and they are quite used to that. But saying that, I think obviously that is a huge deal, so I don't blame them for being nervous at all. I probably would have...
Yeah, because they are representing South Korea.
Yeah, it's so important for them, yeah.
And I think for them, I think it's easy to forget that obviously when you see them performing all the time and all the shows they do, you think, oh, they're used to everyone watching them and being the centre of attention, all of that, it's easy. But I think it's very different when they are being like look at V, he looked adorable. He on stage, I am V from BTS and I do this. Whereas here, it's like, no, I'm me and
he's Kim Tae-young, the cultural ambassador for Korea.
Yeah,
so
it's very different.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have the stage persona to use as kind of armour, so it's a little bit more vulnerable.
And the way they can muck around with each other.
Yeah,
can't do that here.
There's nothing, like you said, nothing to hide behind. There's no choreography. There's no like interesting outfits. They were all very. Yeah, like everything was just very clean cut and neutral and just stood there.
And it was streamed live, obviously, around the world. We watched it at that time. But yeah, I actually, because we watched it the first time, I knew obviously what they were saying anyway, although I was reading it again. But it was really nice that I was able to pay a little bit more attention. And obviously, whenever you watch something the second time around, you pick up on details you didn't the first time. But yeah, just seeing more of the posters that they got out and what it was saying. And I thought it was really nice how they were saying, actually, like, change is inevitable anyway. But if you can kind of flip it and like to call it the welcome generation rather than the lost generation, and kind of everything's a new beginning rather than focusing on what you've lost.
I picked up on was the idea of everything they were saying was something ends. Yes, it's an end, but it's a beginning, and it's that positive spin on something ending, isn't it? Of look at it as the beginning, not the ending. And Sugar said something about choices not being perfect, but doesn't mean there's nothing that you can do. That kind of idea of you may choose something that turns out not to be right, but it doesn't mean there's nothing you can do from that point.
Yeah. And it was nice because I think they addressed obviously like people having less choices of what they can do, like limitation. You've had limitations now because the whole world has come to a stop, sort of kind of thing. But he was like, no, there's still choices you can make, and there's still things you can do. So, like you say, it was driving that positivity of not everything is lost. Like there are still some things within your control, and those are the things that you can choose on a daily basis to do something about, like the environment or nature, like it was
or vaccinations.
I think it was. I still find it so strange. It's when they said, you just woke up one day and it was like you were in this surreal, like crazy world, and everything was just so. I think
different. They said I'm the same person I was yesterday, but the world around has changed.
Yeah, it was just
so true.
It was really weird, and it was like, about how people have found new ways to, communicate with each other. And if you think about it, that first kind of lockdown that we had, that was just pretty much when the four of us had started to hang out, and we would do like our calls like on a Sunday and the four of us, and actually that was probably such a good thing for us all to have had, because it's so difficult to like meet up and work out times, but it kind of made us all we didn't have anything else to do, so we sat and we chatted, and we'd be like, all right, I'm going to go in a minute, and then like an hour later we would still be there, because there was nothing like rushing us off. I don't know wherever we were going, and I feel like a lot of that was like some of our friendship was born from that, and the channel was like came up through all of that as well. So there were horrific things, but actually it's some welcome changes that come out.
Solidified our friendship, I think.
Yeah, because we were all going through this like really horrible shared experience. But once you got over the Wi-Fi issues and whatever, we could have all been in the same room. So they looked like they were turning, and I know they're performing, so like, can't we now watch that thing? Yeah. It was a very like, they turned, and I'm really hoping they're just going to start doing it in there.
I know they'd already filmed the performance, and they were turning to the screen, which was going to show the performance.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to be like, ta-da!
And over to me! Yeah.
And now we have
jazz hands.
No, he's gone from.
Right, I would need to see them do jazz hands at some point. They need to do some jazz hands.
He's gone from. So Kim Namjoon will pass over to RM.
And tonight, Matthew, I am.
But you will see in the video why it was pre-recorded.
Are they in there? Oh my god, I love that he took his jacket off.
He looks so tall.
Sassy Jimin.
Jimin in this video.
There's something about like rolled up sleeves.
Can't.
She's like, you're my fan.
There's just no Jimin in this one. Just Jimin.
This is why they needed to do it, because they needed to have the hall empty.
No one in the room could handle it.
Really good. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
I can just say this bit worried me when I first saw it. The stairs.
Yeah, my man in his waistcoat.
I know, but then he got upset with me, so I apologise.
I do love a man in a waistcoat.
Waistcoat and a bow tie, I'd be dead.
Hello.
Someone stop Jimin, please.
I would never stop.
Oh,
Jimin.
that's so cute.
It's such a hopeful song, isn't it?
Oh, Jin.
Oh! I want to do this in 0.2 thieves. Yeah.
My man RM's getting me.
It's Jimin.
Excellent 360.
Yeah.
That was a great camera angle.
Loving the 360. I love the backdrop of the buildings is awesome.
I can't think I might be dead.
What? They all look so suave. I've already seen that and it still had an effect.
Yeah.
You right there?
No!
I've already seen it. And
Still.
Jimin is
Hi,
dangerous.
Jimin, we have a problem.
It's so dangerous. Oh my god. And and I was like, I literally, as I was saying it, and then V was like,
It's like whenever you
I was like, I'm
someone-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Whenever
I'm
you would
sorry.
look at someone, then the next person's bit came in and you'd be like, hey, hey,
It's like the three of
and
them.
you just kept moving to everyone.
The three of them were like, I needed some extra eyes.
Well, again, me on that K-pop Ho train, for me it was all 7. It was amazing. I was just like, yes.
I was scared to look at the others.
J-Hope's little beret hat
Oh.
was so cute.
what
Really
I wanted
nice.
to say was I want to watch it at 0.25
Fast
speed.
Yeah, 2
Just
versus
look at Jimin.
Research purposes, we must explore the physiological response of why this
Let's
happens.
hook ourselves up to some heart monitor.
I think that'd be really funny.
The problem I had with that was I had this thing going on within me of attack and being so proud, and it was just this warring thing of having a moment of I'm so proud of, oh my god, you know. It was just
Like, I'm so proud, but I'm also so attracted.
yeah,
I like that
warring emotions.
they all obviously had the same outfit, but they just changed things slightly.
Yeah, it's like
And
RM took his jacket off under the podium.
and it like represents them,
Freedom.
and it's just such little tiny details, and I love it.
It was like professional BTS, party BTS.
Yeah. It was like the after party. It was good.
And when they were going along and they were like pointing at the people, and I was like, imagine just being at the end of where like Jimin's running past going, you come and I'd be like, I'm dead. And I was, how do those people get there? How do we?
Well, the group behind them doing the dance were professional dancers. Obviously, they were a group of
How
extras.
do we-
How do we? It depends. Are you willing to do time?
But this is why they need professional
How
dancers,
much?
because normal people can't cope.
What do I? We can be professional.
Yeah. You've seen our videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you willing? If you're willing to do time, we.
How much for how much exposure do I get versus?
Well, how much time with them compared to jail time?
What
Is
would
it like a
have-
minute a year?
What would have to be what would make it worth it? How many minutes of time would you need with them to make save every minute with them?
Really don't think we should
Every minute
go down
with
this
them,
rabbit hole
you
on
get a
camera.
year in jail.
Incrimination. Very good. Well done, UN performance and speech.
It was amazing.
And it's lovely the interest there. I've never watched a UN speech before in my life, and now in the space of a month I've watched 2.
Well, yeah, that was what they were saying. Like the number of views on it were amazing. Like they shot through the roof because obviously, and that's why it's so important that they have this platform and they're using it for good, and they have such a far-reaching effect, which is amazing.
Well, this is the thing. It's lovely to see them, because I know there are a lot of celebrities that do use their platforms for good, but that's normally by representing a charity or something like that. They're trying to make real change in governments here with this.
I will say I see quite a lot of celebrities fight out against laws that have come in. So that's so yeah. And I think there's also something to be said about a lot of people. I reckon do a lot of stuff behind the scenes because then I reckon they do get thrown in that people's faces a lot of like, you're just doing this for
Yeah.
And they also can get things thrown back in their face, as in if you pick a side, you can alienate fans who are on the other side of things.
Yeah.
And as well, I reckon they probably do get a lot of, well, why have you supported, like, say, this charity and not this one? Do you not then care about, I've supported some puppies, so you don't care about the kittens that are this or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
So it must be very difficult to navigate what to publicly display.
For me, one of the main things that I remember that I find so impressive is just, and so awesome, is just that they are very, very guys from very humble beginnings from a tiny country in the world. Do you know what I mean? And it's like their reach is that. I think it would be, as it were, more expected if someone in that position was an artist from, say, the West or from America. But the fact that it's them and their, like, Korean language is not one of the most spoken languages in the world. Do you know what I mean? It literally, the fact that it's them and they're from, the chances of them getting to where they are, I think that's what makes it more impressive as well.
And it's kind of like...
and hopeful.
If they can do that...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There's the what ifs.
It's so inspirational,
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't actually spoken about that, have we, for the performance, the vocals.
We're very good.
I think it's because they always are.
And that's what I mean. And then when it's like something does catch you, like getting a really clear hit of Jin's voice, I'm like...
I want to hear him belt.
Stable is a really good way to describe it. It's just... There's no hovering on a note. It just sounds so lovely.
And even if you won't know anything about vocals, it would, as a listener, make you feel reassured. And what that is because his voice is so supported, because their technique is good. So his diaphragm and his breathing and everything is supporting his voice. And that's what it means when people say stable. And it creates a really, really clear, stable tone and note and everything. Do you know what I mean? So you wouldn't, even if you don't know, you're like, it just feels good to listen to. Whereas if you hear someone who's not supported and their singing is not as stable, you as a listener don't feel as... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know nothing about vocals, but yet you as a listener still feel different. You're like, oh...
You're not going to worry that it's going to like break or not get to where you need it to go.
It sounds like at any moment it could crack or go off tune or whatever. Which totally can happen to artists, and never crucify anyone for that, it just happens. But that's what I mean when I say stable, and that's why it, in your mind, you're like, it just sounds so good, and it's,
I must admit, I do keep listening back to his little bit in the My Universe documentary, just so I can, because you hear his bit so clearly. I'm like, I love it. Yeah.
One thing I have to say about the song, about Permission to Dance, is it's only when you watch it, I think, in this kind of situation and setting, that it hits you of what a hopeful song it is. I don't think that really hit me before I watched them do it live.
And how international it is. Because it doesn't even matter if you don't speak English and you watch that song. It's been designed and created to be a physical message demonstrated.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It has that kind of emotion in you, that hopeful...
When we first watched it, I don't think we maybe understood the impact they were hoping to have with the
That's
song.
not on us, that's on them for attacking us through their MV.
With the
cowboy hats.
They were misdirecting us there. Yeah. But do you think they wrote that song knowing that they... Oh, yeah. But didn't they write it with him?
I think so, because generally...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but...
Because it's in English. Normally I would have said, well, Sugar and J-Hope and RM would have written their own parts, but they weren't rapping, and...
Whatever way it is, it feels like that was...
Yeah. That's what you should be looking up. Can't get the staff.
It's like, was that song kind of created knowing that it was going to be used in this way? Like, did they know they were going to be doing the UN?
Yeah. How far ahead did they know?
Or whether they had it anyway and it just paired really nicely, and if not, what other song of theirs would they have used?
Yeah.
Because I must admit, I really wouldn't have thought that they would have performed, but I mean, I'm so glad they did. But if not, what other song would you put in there?
But also really smart of the UN, not only to have them in as cultural ambassadors and speakers, but to have the performance as well, because the UN obviously know that that's going to draw in more live streaming audiences, and therefore their message is going to have a further reaching impact, which is, so the fact that the UN let them perform, I think is really good.
And because there will be people that don't watch the speech for whatever reason, but will watch them perform.
And it's just like bedding it in, regardless. So you've seen it, so when you think of BTS, you might think of the UN, and then when a news article or something pops up about it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember something about that. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, something about the environment. Isn't that why BTS were there? And it's just, it's trying
planting
to
those seeds.
Using like everyday culture to bring in stuff that brings about real change. Hopefully,
you never know where those seeds are going to get planted. Like a seed of curiosity could be planted in one person because of one thing, and another person, you know, something else would catch their curiosity. So you just never know.
Well, look what your seed of curiosity about K-pop has resulted in. You know.
Yeah, during the day when she was like, I should show you a BTS video on your channel. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Like, only if you like it. We don't have to shit if you don't like it. We'll try it, and
that'll be fun. What did I do for fun before?
I don't know.
I now have a husband and 7 boyfriends. It's so awkward. And there's more.
What? Yeah, you mean your actual husband? You said a husband and 7 boyfriends. I was like, no, a husband and 6 boyfriends.
This thing is the actual husband that I do have.
Can't forget about him.
Yeah, there's a real life.
So that was BTS speaking and performing at the UN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.